Okay, first thing I want to do is react to this NAV SoFaygo song, which I feel like hasn't been promoted that much, but we'll get into the details because maybe it is. Could be, because apparently it's getting promoted more in Canada. But anyway, I've yet to listen to this. All we did was listen to the snippet, like I want to say 2 days ago on stream. So let's see, Double Faces with NAV, but the primary artist is Money Music. So that's a producer, I believe, who originally previewed it. So that's something that might have to do with, look, it's kind of like independent, so that might be why it's not getting promoted. But anyway, all right, so I get the gist of the song. I personally liked it. I'm gonna add it to the playlist of the day, not necessarily like up next, because I don't know if this is gonna be like a banger, but I think somebody in the chat said it feel like dream music. Yeah, I feel like this is something like to play on the ride home after you went out, you're back from the club, maybe a little drunk and whatnot. But this is like a cool vibey song. I think both of them did well. I know a lot of people think I hate NAV. I don't. It's just I feel like they boost his persona higher than what he really is, and they stack him with features, and it's like it just looks corny. But yeah, SoFaygo did his thing. It was kind of like a mix of Pink Hearts and like his old sound, like the high pitch, and then he goes back into it, but he still, it seems as though he's trying to be on this slower vibe, right? He's not actually, he has Hell Yeah, which apparently is actually doing super well. It's about to pass Off the Map. Yeah, look, Hell Yeah is his most popular song currently, and I think it's on Rap Caviar, if I do say so myself. Yep, Rap Caviar. You can go to SoFaygo. Let's see where it's ranked. It's ranked, it doesn't tell me, but Double Faces on Rap Caviar too, so it looks like it's getting some push. However, as I posted on Twitter, I really don't think that SoFaygo, or not even SoFaygo, just like this song in general, I feel like, at least in the American markets, because somebody told me that it's getting pushed heavily in Canada and like Toronto on like 6 Buzz TV and whatnot, because NAV and both Money Music, I believe, don't quote me on that because I don't even know who Money Music is, but allegedly he's the producer of the track. They're in Canada, and obviously they're going on tour. They're from Canada, so like it resonates with their fan base more, whereas SoFaygo is just a feature. However, I felt like it was kind of promoted as I don't know, like a primary collab with SoFaygo, but whenever it's a producer track with just features from artists, it doesn't get as big of a budget. Unless it's like Metro Boomin or DJ Khaled or whatever, but they spend hella bread on that. But yeah, man, I feel like SoFaygo did his thing. He was the primary artist in the song. I don't know why people are hating on it. They were saying it's mid or whatever. It's just one of those situations where like, no matter what at this point, SoFaygo just can't win. So honestly, I think he's doing the right thing of just not even fighting back. Just let him talk. Let him talk. He's sitting there. Hell Yeah is quietly creeping up. Double Faces quietly on Rap Caviar as well, getting his numbers. As I said before, I don't think Pink Hearts Deluxe is coming. I think he has to cancel that because he's going on tour soon with NAV. So like, is he gonna do a Pierre Bourne and drop it a whole year later? I don't think so. But SoFaygo and both him and NAV posted on their Instagrams, so it should be getting good amount of streams. Let's see, so in 2 days, at least on Spotify, it has 190k, which isn't bad, right? Good thing NAV had a 30-second verse. I'm telling you, man, SoFaygo is honestly better than NAV. Although, look, I know, again, I'm seen as a NAV hater. I do have to give him his flowers. I was listening to a song way back in the day. I can't even speak English right now. I just ate a bunch of nachos and I'm about to fall asleep. But NAV low-key kinda has some children in the the SoundCloud era, because he was on that heavy auto-tune, and then there were people who came up sounding like him a little bit, like Lil Skies, among others, like the heavy auto-tune. However, he wasn't the first one to use auto-tune. There was like T-Pain and Future and Lil Wayne who really revolutionized it. But NAV, I feel like, took it to like the monotone, which is kind of what Lil Skies is on. So NAV is Speaker Knockers. Okay, true. Speaker Knockers definitely was way before NAV. Not gonna lie. And he was basically like a clone. But nobody, Speaker Knocker is just kind of like under the table. Not many people really know who he is. Nav Minute with Cardi. Yeah, no, that song is a banger. I love that song. SoFaygo went from me queuing his local files to him being in the underground on shuffle. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think at this point, maybe this is what they're doing, the marketing strategy. He's not necessarily marketing to the underground anymore because he's an industry artist. He's working with Nav. He's signed to Travis Scott, or, you know, so we think at this point. And so they're trying to hit different markets rather than hit this underground one, which is rather toxic and rather small, even though I would say that it's one of the more enthusiastic. Like if you got the underground on lock, such as like Yeet or Ken Carson or Destroy Lonely or even Summers, like you're going to be getting a lot of streams per month, per week to really bring home that bag. But I feel like SoFaygo already hit the top of that. And now that it's like, what is it? It's like when you take the L, just accept it and move on. I don't know what the saying would be, but there are a bunch of them. So at this point, I feel like they've accepted that the underground just isn't gonna fuck with them. So why even try to market to them? Because they already have a song with Ken Carson, Hell Yeah, which we already saw is still doing super well on Pink Hearts, carrying the whole project basically, and Stay Awake, which I believe is Uzi. So just why not market to Canada? Shit, I could if they do that, they could even go into Latin markets or whatever. Bad Bunny. No, he's not Bad Bunny level, but you get the point. Like it's kind of how 6ix9ine and even Lil Pump right now, and they're marketing to the European and like just overseas markets, because I don't know, American culture can be kind of wishy-washy, where they'll be a fan of an artist for, let's say, a year, and then they're over with. But overseas, like they don't get much action over there, pause. So when they do go perform over there, like they are buying tickets because they never really see rappers like that. But that's how 6ix9ine blew up originally. But yeah, Faygo has the mainstream vibes. So, you know, you can't really, maybe he doesn't want to sound like the underground anymore. Because if you remember, Off the Map, he didn't want to be on that Rage. Like that was one of the first Rage songs that was super popular in the underground. And it blew up. And then that's really what Travis signed him off of. So maybe he doesn't want to sound like that, so he just doesn't care about this demographic anymore. So I applaud him. Do I think the NAV collaboration is a good thing? Now that's a good question. I don't think a NAV feature really does anything for him. However, if they are promoting it to the Canada audience, like NAV is a super potent collab because he is from Toronto, right? So he has a huge fan base over there. He's signed to EXO. He's with The Weeknd. You know, he's cool with Dre. He's cool with like every mainstream rapper too. So it's kind of like a cool cosign maybe to get him connected with other people. But he's already got Travis Scott. He's signed to Travis, so he can kind of get in the door with anybody. I'm trying to figure out who would be cool. Like, does SoFaygo have a good song with Don Toliver? I think it was actually on Don Toliver's project. So yeah, he does. But he still needs that Travis Scott feature, bro. But originally I was saying like, yo, why are you trying to chill with Nav necessarily? But I guess maybe SoFaygo has more of a pop lane, so they're working him up to the Weeknd type features, or they're working him into R&B, more melodic sound rather than the American street shit, which is really popular here. So hey man, they might know more than us. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to hate on SoFaygo at all. Like, look, 4 million monthly lists, that's better than anybody else, you know. Does Faygo lose his underground fan base? I think a lot of people didn't even know he dropped. Like, I posted it on all my socials, or at least the news accounts, and people were like, wait, he dropped? Or like calling him mid without even releasing real or without even listening to the song. So yeah, I mean, we always talk about this. He lost the momentum, and therefore he lost that audience. But they're not really marketing to that because they got other moves to make. Like, they got on the Rap Caviar playlist. That's basically like, if you're getting playlisted, you have so much leeway to just, like, you don't even need an organic following like that. Like, if you know how to finesse playlists, like, that's basically, it's not payola, but it guarantees a certain amount of streams where you can make your money back fairly easily. That's how a lot of these industry things work. Like, we always talk about how a lot of these bigger rappers tend to get exposed for doing fake streams, because a lot of them, like, once you go super mainstream, like, you don't have a lot of hardcore fans anymore, because they're kind of like casuals and like they're not really tuned in to all the announcements for the releases. So you really, that's where you need the industry push, like the radio stations to play you, the playlist to play you, and without them, like, you're kind of screwed. That's why I always say underground artists, if you put them with no promotion against at least the high engaged one, like a Yeet or Ken Carson or Alone, like, they're gonna be streaming more than a lot of these mainstream artists. If you even the playing field and have zero budget for promotion, just because the underground fans have way more diehard fans, you know? But yeah, Faygo old fans have detached from his new music. Although, again, I feel like this is it's just an evolved version of that. But I feel you. It's almost like, at this point, when Uzi drops new music, it's kind of like more older type music. Like, it kind of sounds like it sounds more regular rap to me, whereas I go back to old Uzi music and I'm like, damn, this music was crazy. Now, I'm not gonna say that he fell off, because he didn't. He has a top 10 hit right now with Just Wanna Rock. It's continuing to go up. It hasn't even peaked yet. So in relation to SoFaygo, like, it's not on the same level because Uzi's way bigger, but in the same way, the Faygo fans loved that, you know, pre-Eternal or like Love is Rage 2 era, and then now Faygo's on the Eternal Take shit, where it's like, it was cool, but it kind of sounds like every other rapper now, or in Faygo's case, kind of more pop R&B type. But I guess that's what Cactus Jack is. Like, they're trying to make him big. Look at Knock Knock streams. Yeah, facts. 212. That was all TikTok though. But Knock Knock was still on his old sound. MP5 was cool. Again, I liked all these songs. I don't know why everybody was hating on him. I told y'all I liked Pink Hearts. I gave it a solid rating. I was like 7.5 maybe. What do I see in Faygo? He's just a solid, like, industry artist, bro. I'm not gonna say like he has the craziest personality or like any crazy gimmicks or funny lingo, because this is not him. But if you put him next to like Don Toliver and Travis Scott, and he continues to be mysterious and like just make decent music with solid production and whatnot, and collab with other artists, like, he could blend into that crowd. Now, is he going to be the best out of it? With what he's doing now, he's losing a little bit of the uniqueness, but I still think he has it. He's really talented. Like, that's why I wouldn't say he washed NAV, because NAV did his thing on this last song, but SoFaygo is definitely, like, he just stands out more with his vocals. But we'll see. Maybe the next project, because remember, Pink Hearts was independent released, or distributed at least. It was backed by Cactus Jack. But if the next one gets a huge push, like, hey man, I'm hoping they get above like 10-20k or whatever, that would be a next step. Can I start reacting to Highway? I like Highway, but to me he still sounds like I legit thought that on the Dom Corleo collab that he sounded like Future. I thought it was Future when I first heard it, and then I looked at the name, I was like, oh, this is Highway, because he kind of has that YSL Future type vibe, like Atlanta.